Purusha Prabhu.
What's that?
Who do you want to call you?
Sister, call me.
Okay. Hemagi, call Adi or have your sister call Adi. 212-473-3558. I'll put that in the chat. Adi is the best therapist. Henry Prabhu is on the road too. Like Akrura is about to see Krishna. All right. Would anyone like to? There's not much of a purport here. I'm not sure what to do. We can read the introduction to the chapter. Maybe there's something there. Would anyone like to share, or should I read the introduction to the chapter and maybe we discuss that? Hare Krishna Prabhu. Jamuna Jai. Hare Krishna, Jamuna Jai.
Hey Krishna, I just wanted to say I've been so appreciating this past time for so many reasons. We hear, that the prayers of Akura are the exemplary prayers, and his nature is exemplary. And I've just been really meditating on it. And so I'll just quickly say that one of the things that's really struck me is his anticipation. That whole section when he talks about, and Krishna will see me, and Krishna will do this and this and this. And the fact that he's saying this all the, Akura's lived in such extreme circumstances, literally working for an evil demon, and it hasn't tainted him. And I always think that's a lesson. He hasn't let working for Kamsa taint him. He's been lotus-like. And so that's one of the lessons I've been meditating on this past time. And then his complete faith. Krishna will see me, even, though I work for this monster, even though I'm coming to, my message is to take him to this monster, Krishna will really see me. And then the beauty of the exchange, that Krishna is so happy to see him. And what we spoke about the last couple of days, the beauty of the Atiti Bhagavan, that the guest is God, the way to treat people. So I've just really been glorifying in this whole pastime, but really those prayers of Akura when he's on the chariot, and his faith in the fact that he keeps lotus-like, even though he works for Kamsa, that he has such faith in Lord Krishna. So that's just what I want to chime in. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Jamuna Jaya. Yeah, working for a demon is not an obstacle, and Akura is the example. We have a devotee in our community. His name is Yashoda Dulal, very nice devotee. So he's the acharya for all the devotees who are working out there in the world. He always finds a way to engage his co-workers, even senior colleagues, in devotional service. And he's a wonderful example of a devotee interacting with the world. But you have to be really strong to go out there and keep your bhakti, keep your devotional service going. You have to be really strong. Have good sadhana, like Yashoda Dulal Prabhu. I'm going to reach out to him and have him give class. He's been cutting school lately, but I'll get him. I'll get him to give class. All right. Would anyone else like to share? This is a community class for those of you who just joined, like Venetia and Whiskey. This is a community class. The speaker didn't show up. Bhakta Bill, Hare Krishna. Unmute yourself, Bhakta Bill. Unmute. We can't hear you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. I just wanted to say prayers are very powerful. I just wanted to agree with that statement earlier. That I remember sending a message out to devotees about in class, in Bhagavatam class. I don't know, it was maybe 3 or 4 days ago. I'm in the hospital, and I'm being released today. And the doctors looked at me and they were like, wow, you look like you've really, really, really improved so much. You're glowing. I'm like, at one point I say Hare Krishna, and one of them started laughing, but at least I got to say Krishna's name, in front of them. But on the serious side, I'm really happy. Prayers do work, and I just want to thank you for your prayers.
Nice. Thank you, Dr. Billy. Thank you very much. Glad you're back. And those people may laugh when we say Hare Krishna, but their devotional life has begun. They can't unring that bell. They heard Krishna's name. Jeffrey Ekler Prabhu, please drive safely.
I'm reflecting, Prabhu, Hare Krishna, that when Krishna says, "Oh, look at the damage that I've caused," to my poor parents, right? He's literally the only person that could say, like, "This is my fault." He's the only, we say that all the time. Oh, look what I did! Look at the damage I did, and even in that, self-reflection and lament, we're being egotistical because we didn't do it. But when Krishna calls out and says, "Oh, look at the damage I did," he's legitimate. He can say that. We can't even say that. And that's so interesting to me. When
I do damage every day.
Oh, I know that we facilitate the damage. Don't get me wrong, but we don't actually cause it. And so it's so cool that this set of verses is showing us that sort of awareness is something that we should have, but we may not be able to claim responsibility or ownership of the outcomes or the causes of our actions, but that it is something that we should be aware of, and that Krishna is showing us that the impacts or the perceived impacts of what we do and just the nature of our existence influencing others is something that he's aware of and something that we should be aware of, I would think. That's all. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Jeffrey Ekler Prabhu. Yeah, we all facilitate some damage sometimes, but we're not the only doer. Oh, by the way, you know what? Today is Vaisheshika Prabhu's appearance day. Vaisheshika Prabhu. So I think we should quote some Vaisheshika Prabhu's one-liners. His famous one-liners, like "I live to be corrected." That's one of my favorite one-liners. Bhima Prabhu, you had your hand raised. You wanted to glorify Vaisheshika Prabhu? Let's glorify Vaisheshika.
Okay, you go ahead. Go ahead. I'm not. All I I would say that one of the most glorious and difficult services in our movement is the dissemination of Prabhupada's books. And Vaisheshika has always led the way. He's an acharya in the sense that not only has he inspired others to do it, but he himself was a constant distributor and encourages it. And also, of course, in his lectures, especially in his lectures, Adi loves to quote from Vaisheshika, listens to him, and the reason why is because Adi is street level in the sense of he's out there dealing with the Patita Pavana, the most fallen at all times. Even the people who work with him, like myself, we're all the most fallen. And Vaisheshika is a person who is also street level, being a book distributor. he speaks from the ground. Guru is, I can't remember who said it, but Guru comes to the disciple. It's not like the Guru sits real high up on the Vyasasana and beckons the disciple to rise, but the Guru comes down and lifts the disciple. And Vaisheshika is always, he's approachable that way. It doesn't seem like he is a swan floating in the middle of a lake and you have to swim out to him, but that he has come ashore and, gives you your white feathers, so to speak. So that's what I'd just like to say. In the few times that I've met him and talked to him, personally, I always felt this guy is a friend, sort of like Akrura with Krishna, even though there was a bit of awe and reverence there with Akrura. Krishna, as we'll see later on in this pastime, Krishna and Balaram joke with him. It's actually a great, profound humor that they share with Akrura. I won't do a spoiler there. Spoiler alert. I won't say. I'm sure we all know the little trick that Balaram and Krishna play on him. But anyways, I'd just like to say that we always have to be ready to go to the people we want to reach and show them our love and by our example, show the way. All right, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Bhima Prabhu. Jamuna Jaya, followed by Sundaranandaji.
About Vaisheka Prabhu, I was just talking about something he said the other day. It was in a class, and he asked us, have you all procrastinated at a certain point? We all raised our hands. And he says, have you all neglected something? And we all raised our hands. And he said, so you know how to do it. And he said, then about those thoughts, those anarthas, just practice what he called benign neglect of them. Just neglect them. Just procrastinate about them. You say to them, I don't need to think this right now. I don't need to do this right now. And then he said, because you all know how to do that. And I
nice.
love that so much because yep, I know how to procrastinate. I know how to neglect something. So it's what am I neglecting? So I'm so thankful for him for saying that because it really made the point.
Thank you, Jamuna Jaya.
Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada once kind of challenged his disciples. He said, do you want to know how to control the mind? And the disciples went like, yes, Prabhupada, we want to know how to control the mind. And Srila Prabhupada said, ignore it. Yeah, procrastinate. Okay, Sundaranandaji, glorifying Vaisheshika Prabhu. All right, let's do it.
Can I say something?
Yeah, we can hear you, but we can see you.
Okay, sorry. Yes. Sorry, I had it cut out on mute. Sorry about that. Yes, Vaisheshika Prabhu, I remember just one clear thing. Each time he says one mantra, listen to one mantra, of chanting. You listen to one and then you get going. The idea is that we try to focus while chanting on the whole thing. We get sometimes demotivated. My mind's running here and there, but he said just one mantra. And I remember him at Sadhu Sangha, each time when he comes there, like he really, enlivens the whole crowd. Everyone who's there, they participate. He's of this whole nature where he likes to involve people, and I can see how he's so successful at book distribution, very very successful, because he really gets down like someone else was saying. Who was it? It was Bhima Prabhu who was saying that he comes down to our level. So yeah, I really feel that he's one of the few people who really who motivates someone to pick up a book. He says, don't just leave the books lying down there, just pick them up and read them. He's one of the few people who really motivates someone to take up the Bhagavatam and read it and make that your life goal. And I think he also has planned that app, right, where you read a few pages a day, then you can finish the Bhagavatam in a certain number of time. So all these are very practical ways for us to get started with reading the Bhagavatam every day. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, it's thank you, Sundaranandaji. It's a page by page become a sage.
There you go. Perfect. I'm going to remember that. Thank you for that. Page by page become a sage.
Yeah, page by page become a sage, or class by class become a bed. I don't want to continue. Okay. Yeah, what Aripusha?
Hare Krishna. Well, Vaisheshekabu is astounding when he speaks because he's immersed himself in Srila Prabhupada's books in such an intense way. Oh my God. That, he just pours out the scripture. So he's actually channeling Srila Prabhupada very clearly. And one thing I really appreciate, when he's giving class, he does what Ananda Vihar is doing right now. He includes everyone. Even recently I listened to one of his classes in Mayapur, and there were hundreds of devotees in the temple, and he spoke for like 10, 15 minutes, and then he said, okay, we're going to open this up, and he goes, do we have the microphones? This is a movement about hearing from each other, about conversing about me, Krishna says. The devotees are enlivened by I want to hear from you. And so many people contributed, and it gives the class such life. The other style of class is that somebody gives a monologue for 30 or 40 minutes, and everybody else is reduced to wallpaper. And of course, everything they say is shastric and perfect and beautiful and inspiring and true, but somehow or other, the interaction brings an increased liveliness and interest. And I'm astounded that a person who knows so much also wants to hear from the other devotees and allow the other devotees to hear from each other, and that they make that interactive style of presentation of Krishna consciousness. So I believe that that's very pleasing to Krishna, and I find it personally inspiring. And I love when he goes, now when I was a kid, and then he tells some story himself that, it's an application of Krishna consciousness. It's not just some academic ivory tower theoretical, understanding, intellectual, but it's an example. Prabhupada said, example is higher than precept. Example is higher than when we give an example of something that we're trying. The teaching is contained within the story or the pastime of that the speaker includes in his presentation. Anyway, wonderful, wonderful devotee. We thank Krishna for his existence, and like Bhima said that he's a boots on the ground. He's a Sankirtan devotee. He's a personally going from person. He said, I avoided management for decades. I wanted nothing to do with it. I would just go out there and I would stay out there distributing until it was late at night so that I didn't get into management. He says, now I'm doing that. But that experience of going to another person and reaching, you have to be there for that person. It's not a mechanical thing. They see that this person cares about me. And that's very beautiful. There's a lot of purification going on by collecting donations and giving people an opportunity to engage in devotional service by giving them a book. Okay, I'm speaking too long. Glory to Srila Prabhupada, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Adipusha. Yeah, Vaisheshika Prabhu always includes everybody, like you said. He pauses every 10-15 minutes during his class and asks for questions and reflections. Because sometimes it's hard to come up with an intelligent question. Sometimes when the speaker stops for questions, then your mind goes blank. At least my mind goes blank. But then you can always reflect. So we want to thank Vaisheshika Prabhu for this wonderful invention. He asks for reflections. See, the Guru comes down to us, to our blank mind, and then we can always reflect. Okay, Bruce Prabhu, followed by Bruce Almighty, I should say, followed by Bhakta Bill.
This is a perfect intro or segue to my question and this very small blank-minded question. So I appreciate that setup because this is truly a neophyte question that I sort of struggle with often. So text 2, you read, my king, what is unattainable for one who has satisfied the supreme personality of Godhead? the shelter of the goddess of fortune as a question. Even so, those who are dedicated to his devotional service never want anything from him. So my question is, we learn to pray and beg for the Lord's mercy. We learn to beg for his help, his guidance. And yet it's clear to me that we don't ask him for a new car. We don't ask him for a mortgage payment on our home. That aspect I clearly understand. There's no issue there. My question, I guess, is once we have a sadhana, once we do take up service for the Lord and try and do it with love and sincerity, why here is it saying that we never want anything? Because we do want him, many things from him. We know he wants our love, but we want to reciprocate this love. We know that, he needs a friend. We want to be his friend. So I often hear this contradiction that we don't want anything from him. And again, scratch the whole material aspect of it. That's clear. But even on our spiritual journey, we need so much from him. We need him in every moment of our day. This is what we learn, is to put Krishna at the center of everything we do. That's wanting a lot. Please help. Did I lose you?
Yeah, no, Bruce, questions. I was looking up the word kinchana, which means nothing. That's the word. Akinchanam Krishna means, there's a name, Akinchana Krishna. It means nothing but Krishna. So Akinchana Krishna, those two words go hand in hand. Akinchana in bhakti means Akinchana Krishna, nothing but Krishna. And then there's a verse, it just popped up here, 1:5:14. Kinchana, something in this verse. And it's used in connection to something that is separate from the Lord. So the verse goes, whatever you desire to describe that is separate in vision from the Lord simply reacts with different forms, names, and result to agitate the mind as the wind agitates a boat which has no resting place. In other words, kinchana is often used in regards to, we don't want anything material, anything that is separate from the Lord. It just agitates the mind unnecessarily. So I would say we should put that word in the bhakti context, which is Krishna. Akinchana means Akinchana Krishna. There's a wonderful devotee, Akinchana Krishna Das. He lives in Vrindavan, wonderful Kirtaniya, Ayendra Prabhu's man. So Ganesham Prabhu once explained to me his name. He said, that's a cool name, right? Akinchana Krishna. I want nothing but Krishna. Mm-hmm. So that's how we read. Nothing but Krishna. Blank in bhakti means the mind is blank, but there's Krishna, nothing but Krishna in the mind, on the mind.
Yeah. I like it. Thank you.
Okay, Krishnadaya Prabhu, would you like, that sounds like a question for you. Kinchana Sanskrit, are you still here? I saw him. All right, he's not here. Okay, Bhima Prabhu, I saw your hand raised.
I forgot what I was going to say. Now, what I wanted to say. Yeah, I wanted to say that it's wild that hold on, I'm trying to follow the navigation of my vehicle. Hope I just took the right turn. In that juncture, we find ourselves, Krishna gives us a sort of a navigation, which is, of course, to always remember him and never forget him. And yet at the same time, if we're lucky, if we're blessed, graced, we're given a mission, we're given some service, not some service, we're given service in general. And sometimes that service involves a great amount of material manipulation, involves a great amount of troublesome daily things that activities and concerns and worries that may take us away from remembering Krishna. And that is only if we place ourselves in between ourselves and Krishna's will. Ourselves become between us and Krishna's plan. And that ultimately the surrender part to Krishna is to actually relax and pray to Krishna, as Bhakta Bill said, is to relax and pray to Krishna and then go with the flow. You know, you chant your rounds so that you can always remember that Krishna's name. Oh, Krishna, here we go again. Here's Ananda Bihari's causing trouble for me. I don't know what to do. I'm getting really angry right now. And so I pray to Krishna to help me see the light. Ananda Bihari knows exactly what he's doing, and it's all for the best type of thing. But anyways, what I'm saying is that we're going. Krishna's going to provide. That's one thing I've learned over 60 years. That if we just put Krishna first in our day, and throughout the day, remember that Krishna is in control. That he gives you the navigation, he gives you the wheel, and he says, relax, just go on the straight and narrow, stay on the road, keep your hands on the, keep your eyes on, choose Krishna consciousness and your hands upon the wheel. Follow the four regs, chant my name, and I'll get you home. It's all laid out for us. And so we can relax and, despite all the material things in our service that may be troublesome, we can understand that Krishna has a plan, and that when he unfolds that plan, as with Akrura, it becomes a wondrous thing. And we also understand that Krishna always has a great laugh on us when we fight, when we fight him, as we will, with our egos and our plans and the desires that we want, and then somehow, if we can just, try to apply the philosophy in our day-to-day, remember day-to-day, moment-to-moment, decision after decision, always bring Krishna into it. We understand that Krishna's plan, he'll correct you gently. So, he'll correct you gently, and a lot of the times with a sense of humor. And when you have it happen over and over and over again, you develop that implicit faith, that implicit trust that Krishna is going to get stuff done, no matter how much Ananda Bihari gets in your way.
Thank you,
Hare
Bima.
Krishna.
Thank you. There's a wonderful one-liner from Vaisheshika Prabhu in that regard. Vaisheshika Prabhu says, where attention flows, energy goes. And he also says, resources follow commitment. If we're committed to Krishna, then resources will follow. If we commit ourselves to the service attitude, then whatever we need, whatever resources we may need to execute that service will follow the commitment. So first comes commitment, and then all the resources, everything follows. Vaisheshika Prabhu ki jai. And I had an interesting thought while Bhima Prabhu was speaking. I was thinking, when we enter the realm of devotional service, we sign up for a certain service, for example, we commit to a certain service, and then we expect that will be the level of our commitment. But then Krishna raises the bar a little bit, or puts us in a situation where we have to do something that is not necessarily listed on our job description. And then we kind of get offended. Hey, why is this expected from me? I didn't sign up for this type of service, or my shift is done, I have to leave. But then is that service attitude? Because on the one hand, we want to dance for Krishna and bend over backwards if necessary. But then, is that really sustainable? Because we don't want to get burnt out and just quit altogether. So how to strike this balance between dancing for Krishna and doing what's necessary, sometimes going beyond our pay grade, our job description, but at the same time with not burning out and quitting the process altogether, which is a common thing. And this is a question for all of you, dear devotees. Let me know if you have any thoughts on that. Adipurusha Prabhu?
Arjuna goes through the same thing. He was burning. It's the Kurukshetra moment when we get to the point of saying, Lord, what do you want? Then, one step at a time, Krishna will show us when to go, when to stop, when to slow down, when to speed up. It's not that we're just lost and without any navigation system. Krishna's there for us. He knows exactly. And Krishna says, you're entitled to perform your prescribed duty, but you're not entitled to the fruits of action.
Yeah, but that's not my duty. My shift is over.
Don't be attached to not doing your duty. If we're attached to the endeavor, but not the result, we'll never be fried. We get burnt when we think, I want this, I want it to happen like this, I don't want that, I want me. When we just relax, water in the glass.
If you stay detached, then you're never gonna burn out. Let that sink in.
Attached from the results. Attach to do our sincere best and leave the results to Krishna. A person who has a desire for a particular result, look like success, look like failure, look like praise, blame, people laughing at us, people ignoring us. If we have some desire for the result, then that's how we get burnt, because of our attachment to the. But why not be attached, Krishna says, to your endeavor? Do your humble, sincere best, and then Krishna's pleased. One time, I was with Prabhupada, serving as his bodyguard, so I had to stay there. And devotees were coming in one at a time. They were letting them in one at a time. And one devotee came in, and he was completely burnt, broken down, crying, completely distressed. And apparently his service was so overwhelming, or his commitment to it, or he was so unhappy. And he said, Prabhupada, what do you want? What do you want from me? Prabhupada said, I just want you to be happy. That's what Krishna wants. He wants us to be satisfied, to do our best, and relax, and let the result be, the chips fall where they may. Right? That doesn't mean we don't try. And we don't have to compare ourselves to anyone else. If we actually do that's all I can do, Krishna. Krishna says, very good. Well done, my good and faithful servant. I'm pleased by your endeavor. Right? It's not unattainable to have the goal of pleasing Krishna. Right? The little squirrel or a spider was throwing a grain of sand, but that was his humble best. And Krishna said, I'm pleased with him. Right? He didn't have to compare himself to Hanuman, throwing mountaintops and boulders. But he did his sincere best, and Krishna was pleased. Do you feel a little better about hearing this? We have to hear these things.
Yeah, I feel sublime. I feel great. Thank you, Adipurusha Prabhu. And everybody is appreciating what you're saying. We're doing our humble best. We're staying detached from the fruit. Because this crazy mind is like a squid. He sees the object and he throws his limbs out and covers the object, immediately latches onto it. But that's the source of misery, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
One who's detached.
Dr. Bill has his hand up.
Hare Krishna. Just a little bit off the subject. In the comment box, one of the devotees mentioned in response to your class by class. Now, if you say class in the English form, like class, you become a das, right? So class by class, you become a das.
Class by class, become like das.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
We love Das. There he is. Class by class. Nice. Okay. Is that Manohar in the back? Is he napping or what? Napping in class. Come on now. I can't hear you, Adipurusha.
Manohar's in the Pajori room. Stick your head out, Manohar. There he is. Big
Manohar
smile.
Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
He's from South Africa.
From South Africa. Hare Krishna Prabhu, welcome. Welcome to our Sangha. Okay. It's 8 o'clock. Let me see. Would anyone else like to share anything? A reflection? Bruce Almighty.
I have a request for all from the devotees, please. A friend of mine, coworker, this past year lost his mother. He 6 months later lost his sister. 3 months later, divorced his wife. They luckily have managed to, or they separated. They've managed to come back together. And yesterday, first thing in the morning, he lost one of his twins, 6-year-old daughter, to her battle with leukemia. So this man is going through unimaginable challenges, and he's just been really, really beaten down. And he does not choose the Lord by his side in all moments at all. But I'm sure could benefit from our prayers. This news yesterday was just so difficult to hear. He shared a story that 2 weeks ago, because of the age, they weren't allowing his son into the hospital to see his sister. And he managed to say that, the doctors had some compassion and allowed his son to come. And his daughter just perked up and was smiling. And he was explaining to me that he hadn't seen her with any real life and energy and smiling and laughing until she had seen her brother in months. So if you all could take a moment and include him and that family into your prayers, I would be deeply grateful. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. What's the person's name?
His name is Talon.
Talon.
Yeah.
And we love you. Adipurusha, would you like to reflect on that? I don't think I'm qualified to say anything, but maybe you are. Adipurusha.
Just ask that person to call me. It's not a one-size-fits-all. Specifically, we have another way of looking at things when we see things through the eyes of Scripture. The curtains are opening here.
Thank you, Hari. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Bruce Prabhu. Thank you. Okay, dear devotees, turn on your cameras if you can. Gopal Krishna. Gopal Krishna Prabhu, thank you for the Kurukshetra moment for us. Facilitating our Kurukshetra moment. Nice seeing everybody. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Adipusha Prabhu, thank you for the darshan. The sound is so clear. Your darshans are the best. Okay. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Das Prabhu, have a wonderful day. Bhakta Bill, welcome back. Hemangan family, we're praying for you, sister. Amita Kishori Didi, it was nice seeing you. Param, Vijayate, Shri Krishna Sankirtana, Hare Krishna. Sundar Anandaji, Hare Krishna. Bruce Prabhu, thank you. Venisha, thank you for tuning in. Yogeshwari, thank you. Suzanne, thank you. Danakili Prabhu, thank you for being here. Class by class, become a Das. That's the title for this class. Okay. Hare Krishna. Love you all. Adi Adi Bo. Thank you.